William was born in Normandy sometime between 1056 and 1060. He was the third son of William the Conqueror and Matilda of Flanders. Although because his elder brother, Richard, died young, William eventually became the second surviving son. He was nicknamed Rufus probably because of his red or ruddy appearance. 1060s William grew up in his father's court. His father was constantly involved in military and political affairs. William therefore grew up surrounded by Norman knights, military campaigns, aristocratic politics, church officials, English and Norman nobles. He was educated under the supervision of Lanfranc, the future Archbishop of Canterbury. He was also trained as a warrior. 1066 William was still a child when his father invaded England. William the Conqueror defeated Harold Godwinson at the Battle of Hastings. His father's victory established the Norman royal dynasty in England. 1070s as William grew older, he became involved in his father's military affairs. He developed a reputation for being physically strong, courageous, aggressive, energetic, outspoken. He became a loyal supporter of his father. This loyalty became extremely important later because William the Conqueror eventually chose him as his heir to England. 1077 to 1080 William's elder brother Robert Curthose was supposed to inherit Normandy. William and Robert had a difficult relationship. Around 1077, a conflict involving the brothers contributed to Robert's rebellion against their father. William supported his father. 1079 William fought on his father's side during the conflict with Robert. At the Battle of Gerberoi, William was wounded. The incident demonstrated that he was already an active military participant. His loyalty to his father was one reason William the Conqueror trusted him. November 2, 1083 William's mother, Matilda of Flanders, died. William was around his mid-20s. Her death removed an important stabilizing influence from the Norman royal family. William the Conqueror survived her by only about 4 years. September 9, 1087 William the Conqueror died in Normandy. Before his death, he arranged a division of his territories. His sons received different inheritances. Robert Curthose received Normandy. William Rufus received England. Henry received money. This arrangement created serious rivalry between the brothers. 1087 William hurried to England after his father's death. His father's leading advisors supported his accession. The most important was Lanfranc, Archbishop of Canterbury. September 26, 1087 William was crowned King William II of England at Westminster Abbey. His reign lasted almost exactly 13 years. 1088 Almost immediately, William faced a rebellion. Some Norman nobles wanted to replace him with his elder brother Robert Curthose, Duke of Normandy. One of the principal figures involved was Odo of Bayeux, William's uncle. William appealed to the English population and promised better laws, protection, reduced oppression, fairer government. He successfully defeated the rebellion. William and Robert were brothers, but also political rivals. Robert controlled Normandy. William controlled England. Both wanted greater power. Eventually, William decided that controlling Normandy himself would make his position stronger. 1091 William crossed to Normandy and occupied parts of the duchy. Robert was unable to resist effectively. Instead of completely removing Robert, however, the brothers negotiated. They reached an agreement. William obtained greater influence and territory in Normandy. Robert retained his position as Duke. 1091 Their younger brother Henry had received money from their father's inheritance and possessed territory in Normandy. William and Robert eventually took action against Henry. Henry lost much of his position. This family rivalry continued for years. Ironically, Henry would eventually become King of England. 1091 William also had to deal with Malcolm III, King of Scotland. Malcolm had invaded northern England. William's campaigns and negotiations helped establish English influence over Scotland. Malcolm eventually acknowledged William's authority in certain respects. William therefore continued his father's policy of keeping Scotland within England's political sphere. 1093 Malcolm III was killed during fighting against the English. His death created another Scottish succession crisis. William became involved in Scottish affairs. 1093 to 1094 William supported Duncan II, Malcolm's son. For a period, the Scottish throne changed hands several times. William's influence over Scottish politics increased. However, Scotland remained an independent kingdom. William never conquered Scotland. 1095 William faced another major rebellion. The leading rebel was Robert de Mowbray, Earl of Northumbria. William crushed the rebellion. Mowbray was captured and imprisoned. This strengthened royal authority. 1096 William's elder brother Robert Curthose joined the First Crusade. Robert needed money to finance the expedition. William therefore obtained control over Normandy for a period, reportedly by giving Robert a large amount of money. This was extremely useful to William. He could now govern both England plus Normandy for a time. Robert left for the Holy Land. 1096 to 1099 While Robert was away on the First Crusade, William became increasingly powerful. He continued to strengthen royal authority. He also fought in Normandy, Wales, northern England, Scotland. His government became increasingly centralized. William continued the Norman expansion into Wales. He supported the construction and strengthening of castles along the Welsh border. Norman power expanded in some areas, although William never conquered all of Wales. 1097 William launched a major campaign against the Welsh. He attempted to strengthen Norman control over the frontier. The campaign was not a complete conquest, but a reinforced Norman influence. 1089 William's former advisor and Archbishop of Canterbury Lanfranc died. William then gained control over the revenues of Canterbury. He also left several important bishoprics vacant. Because the king could control their lands and revenues while the positions remained unfilled, the practice became a major source of criticism. 1093 William appointed Anselm of Bec as Archbishop of Canterbury, but the relationship quickly deteriorated. Anselm believed the church should have greater independence from royal authority. William believed the king had extensive rights over the English church. 1097 After years of conflict, Anselm was permitted to leave England. William then took control of the revenues of the archbishopric. Anselm appealed to the Pope. This demonstrated how far William was prepared to go to strengthen royal authority over the church. William never married. Westminster Abbey explicitly records that William never married and had no children. One of William's most important architectural achievements was Westminster Hall. Construction began during his reign, around 1097. The hall was associated with the royal palace at Westminster and later became the center of English parliamentary and judicial life. William too frequently hunted. The New Forest had been created and expanded under his father, William the Conqueror. The forest was used as a royal hunting ground. William too continued to hunt there. August 2, 1100 William was staying in the New Forest. He went hunting. One of the men with him was Walter Tyrrell. William saw a stag and ordered an arrow to be shot. Tyrrell fired. The arrow struck William. William died. This is one of the great mysteries of medieval English history. William was accidentally killed by an arrow while hunting. Suspicious circumstances. William was unexpectedly killed. His younger brother Henry was present. Henry immediately moved toward Winchester. Henry seized the royal treasury. Henry was crowned king only days later. Walter Tyrrell fled. This led to the traditional theory that Henry arranged William's murder. There is no conclusive proof that William was assassinated. William's body was taken to Winchester Cathedral. He was buried there. His death ended the reign of the second Norman King of England.